podcast is brought to you by Society Art Villeray. This exclusive gallery features local and international artists showcasing their extraordinary artistic talents. This fine gallery may also serve as a venue for your special events. You can find them on Instagram and online at societyart.ca. Thank you, Society Art Villeray. And now we return you to your podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to another remarkable episode of Let's Talk It Out. And I say it's remarkable because I'm the only one here in the sofa.
What? What do you mean you're the only one?
On the sofa.
How? Okay.
Yeah, so I just qualified that. I qualified that.
Well, you said I'm the only one here.
On the sofa. When you play it back and you edit, then you're going to say, damn,
now I'm going to cut that part out and say, hey, look.
You're going to say she was right, and I want to hear it. I want to be privy to the fact that I was right, because I have been right many times so far.
No way.
So let's just add to the echelon of Lisa's rightness. So yes.
Lisa needs to have a drink. So let's cheers. Let's cheers. Salud. Show that cup.
Right.
Show that Let's Talk It Out cup. I want to show it too. Hold on. I want to show it too. Look at this cup. Look how nice this cup is. Salud.
Salud.
Cheers.
I like Let's Talk It Out.
Nothing like a good glass of juice to get you going.
It's a bit nutty.
So how you been, Lisa? How's everything?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm doing well. I mean, it's a typical. Oh, I thought that was our next guest. Do you guys do you see the background people walking? This is like MTV, right? Remember the old MTV? Isn't it?
I do.
I like it.
I like it. I like the getup. I really do like the getup.
And you know what's
it
funny?
It's a comfortable sofa too.
You also see the reflection of the wall. So you see the art. Yeah, right where Lisa's pointing. Yeah, you see that? That's M's artwork that he's.
That and that.
Yeah, he's in the process of painting, isn't it?
Nice.
But you also kind of see the cars passing by. It's pretty cool, man. And
actually, we have to remind everybody where we are. We're at M's studio. Society Art Villeray, and we have to thank him so much for this amazing studio, amazing place, because it really adds to the flavor and the spice of the podcasts. It really does. And I'm not just saying that. I'm not just saying that.
Did you practice that maneuver?
No.
Did you go home last night?
It just came into my melon. And
personally?
Some people don't believe that my hamsters turn.
Hence calling them hamsters.
Hamsters. That's the plural.
No. So who thinks here, look at this, who thinks that she went home
no.
and was looking in the mirror and did that whole maneuver where she was pointing and stuff?
It's natural. I'm just naturally suave.
There you go. Let's talk about suave.
Let's talk about suavity.
So back to you, Lisa. Your week is good. My week has been pretty good. Mm-hmm. We're here. It's another episode of Let's Talk It Out.
It is.
We usually have a guest, or Francesca. This week,
both are MIA.
This week usually we talk about certain people, right? Like usually, we discuss a person.
I would like to discuss two people.
Oh, the sponsors
who have dedicated their time,
yes,
their essence,
absolutely,
their morality,
absolutely,
to support the beautiful podcasts that we bring to everybody here across the oceans, across the land, across the vegetation.
She practiced that
farms.
too at home.
Come,
vegetation. Yeah, okay.
There's new things that spark in the brain.
That's it.
So yes, we would like to offer a specific and a special thanks, because without our sponsors, we tend to be very miserable. I do anyways, but we're more miserable when they're not there. But I'm not miserable now because they're there. And our first sponsor, and he's been really, really supportive with us from the get-go, is Richard Babb Photography. Thank you so much, Richard. Your stuff is so amazing. It's so crafty, creative, stylish. I just love what you do with the models, with the colors, with the motifs, with the hues, with the tones, and with your vision. So he is a fantastic photographer, and you can find him at, you can contact him if you ever want to hire him at 514-923-3168. And he's also on Instagram, Richard_Babb_photography. So thank you so much, Richard. Thank you so much for always being there for us. And a second sponsor, he has been there for the long haul. And we're so like eternally grateful because you've really motivated us and you really allow us to be the happy people we are. Well, I am. I'm not sure about Van, but I am. Thank you so much, Van Cropsel. Ekip Cropsel, Remax Alliance. He is an amazing, amazing real estate broker. And you can't go anywhere else because the guy is hugely informed, whether it be at the notary, whether it be showing a house, selling a house, doing your paperwork, offering you advice on land surveyors, notaries. I mean, he gets it done. And the fact of the matter is...
He'll even book you an appointment with the dentist.
Yeah.
He does it all.
Man. And he's always perfectly coiffed. So in every picture you see, he's always he's well presented. So, and he well represents his clients. So Ekip Cropsel 438-402-9471, the ANC at remax-quebec.com or vancropsel.com. Thank you so much, Van. Van, as usual, you're
the man.
You're
we
the
gotta
man.
come up with this jingle. I mean, we say it every week. Van.
This is my jingle.
Let's do it
for
together.
that.
1, 2, 3. Van, you're the man. I love it.
But
That's
you have
so
to
fun.
do it with the...
You have to give
You have to
what
do
she
it with the-
practiced. She practiced the whole thing.
The little gun.
Van,
The little
you're the man.
gunslinger.
This was we record on Wednesday nights. It comes out on Wednesday nights. But this Tuesday night she was doing Van, you're the man.
But you do it like the double whammy.
Oh, it's with
And
the
then-
whistle.
And then you...
Did you practice the whistle?
No,
you
that
didn't
was
do
on
that.
whim.
Okay.
I'm gifted that way.
Okay.
Alrighty, so now we're going to start our podcast because, we've belabored the entire,
Well, I found it. It's always good to have. We have great guests. We have amazing guests, and the podcast is called "Let's Talk It Out."
Yes.
So most of the time, the guests come on, and we kind of try to inspire them.
Well, they inspire us.
They inspire us for sure, but we want people to look at who we're talking with and learn from them. Because there are people that have businesses, they're comedians, and so we try to dive into different arts and crafts and different businesses. Real estate agents, we've had mortgage brokers, we've
Comedians,
had
artists.
comedians, jugglers. We've had tons of stuff on Let's Talk It Out, and it's so fun to see people's stories.
Yep.
But once in a while, when you look at the title, it's called Let's Talk It Out. So we figured, let's talk it out. Like, let's talk about a point. Let's talk about something that, people kind of talk about all the time, which is, living your best life. I think it's good to just have a conversation on it. And of course, I'm going to fucking joke around about it, but it's good to have it's good to have just this is literally a talk it out session. Let's just talk it out. We talk it out with guests, but now we're talking about another topic.
Yeah.
Because we don't touch it very much because, with their guests, we like to talk about what they do and how they live their life. But we'd like to talk about how, not how we live our best life, but what we should do to live our best life. Like what's priority? So if I ask you, Lisa, what's in your life? What's your priority that you would want to accomplish? Like, what do you think living your best life is? I hit you right away. Bang.
It's okay. Living my best life, I think for everybody, it would probably be along the same lines. I could be wrong. But I think it's a life that you sort of, take it by the horn, take it by the...
But what does it mean to you living your best life?
It means being fulfilled, grateful, and appreciative with what I have, what I've accomplished, and what I hope to accomplish. And in order to do that, you have to be focused. You have to, always start a task or always see things in a positive way and not as if you are defeated immediately. So in life, you're always going to have difficult situations, difficult tasks, difficult people. And these are the people that sort of wear you down, or these are tasks that wear you down, and they sort of give you an idea that you cannot accomplish it because it's so difficult, or I was never taught this, or I can't work hard enough because there aren't as many hours in a day. And I think it's all about time management. It's all about living in the now instead of planning, let's say, for the next week, because you don't know what's going to happen. And I think it's slowing down.
But is living your best life, like, to you, does it mean just every day has to be the best it can be? Or is it a goal oriented where you want to, say, well, this year I'm going to work like a biatch, for lack of a better word, but I'm going to work like crazy this year. So next year I can enjoy a month vacation. Like, what's living your best life? Is it, like I said, goal oriented. Do you set up goals and then say, well, my best life is if I accomplish my goals this year, this week, this day?
Yeah.
Or is living your best life just like every day being as good as it can be? Like, how do you consider?
I would consider taking it day by day, because if you plan for something, it might not happen. It might not manifest. Or you might get sidetracked because things unexpected do come up. And if that's the case, it'll lead you to a disappointment, because you haven't fulfilled that specific task. So I would like to take it day by day. I want to live in the present, in the moment, and then with that, you could sort of say, okay, today was good, let's see tomorrow. And then you can eventually, let's say, for example, financially, if you have a bucket list that I want to project by the time I'm 35, because I'm still young. So let's say I go by, by the time I'm 35
Wait
years
a
old.
minute.
See, that was delayed.
Did you
know
try
what the young one is? The young one is here because it was a delay response.
Did you just try to swim, I
didn't need to swim.
throw that in there without anyone noticing? Okay.
People heard my truth.
Sure.
So, instead of projecting, because you don't know what will happen between now and then. Anything can happen. Job, home. You move, so many things can happen in your life that you're not planning for, you're not prepared for. So I find it's better to take it day by day and see what happends. That's how I approach it. That's how I want to approach it.
Do you look at it and say, living my best life is being fit, working out 4 times a week, going for a jog, keeping my jog, meaning keeping my cardiovascular going, eating healthy, not abusing, alcohol or bad food, or, is that part of living your best life?
Of course.
Or, okay.
But that goes without saying. That's part of your daily routine.
Well, it doesn't, because how many people don't do that,
but
right?
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, it's all about priority.
So what is living your best life? Is it like in terms of working out? Do you work out often?
Yes, I do.
Do you have a goal of how much you want to be that makes you feel good and that makes you happy, that you say, I did the best I could now?
Yeah.
Like, what is it? Do you have a number, or is it just when you feel? How do you do that?
I mean, it's how I feel. I mean, I have a projected per week. I have a projected amount of time or number of days that I want to work out. That's an objective. When you set that objective, obviously you want to work towards it. So living my best life would be, living on a daily basis, however, doing something that makes me happy on this daily basis and not forgetting about me, making time for me. And that is very important.
What does time consist of for you?
Me time.
Which is what? Yeah, that's what we want to know.
Exercising, meditation sometimes.
Boring. Sorry, did I say that?
I can't say the other thing on camera.
What?
What?
What the hell just happened?
I don't know. I'm thirsty.
Okay. Yeah, drink that juice. Wow. What happened there?
Nothing.
Is there something in that cup?
No.
What happened? Did you finish it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Living my best life.
She's living her best life. She's hammered on Let's Talk It Out.
I don't get hammered. If anybody knows me, I don't get hammered. That's another good thing. Living your best life, free and clear up here.
Oh. So living my best life
would be smashed.
Is not knowing what the fuck's going on in here, because I don't want to hear this anymore, because it drives me crazy. No, I'm joking.
No, I think that also living the best life would be time for you also entails putting away work, putting away anything that requires you to use a lot of brain power. Sometimes you just want to break away from that. And that leads into your relaxation, that leads into your focus, that leads into your stress-free. And the stress-free leads into your health. And to the health, it leads to I want to eat better, I want to feel better, I want to relax the mind, I want to nap more.
Is living your best life being conscientious of what you eat and how you eat?
Necessarily.
No. I mean...
Because we live my best life. If I can eat French fries all the time, that's the ideal.
But do you make you don't have to make a concerted effort. You're thin. You don't, no, but it's true. Like, you don't have to
I don't have to go over and above.
No, but do you is that part of it? Like,
Yes.
is it a big major part to say I want to be the best? Because me, it's as much as how much shit can I eat until because I love eating.
Yeah.
So it's super hard for me. I really, really love it. So to me, being a best version of me is trying to, if I can control myself, I feel better about myself in the sense that I know it's my, like, I like to have a drink here and there.
No.
But I do. I'm not going to lie. But I don't need it at all. I'm not obsessed. It's not like I go home dying to have a drink. I do like to, I'll have a glass of wine when I eat. I'll have a couple of drinks with friends. I enjoy the alcohol. I enjoy a nice scotch, let's say, or a nice grappa or whatever. I enjoy it, but I absolutely don't need it. Like I could, if I go a week, it's not like, oh my God, I haven't had it in a week, I'm dying. I won't even consider it till I'm like in that moment where I'm watching TV and there's a buddy over and I'll say, hey, do you want a scotch? Yeah, let's have a scotch and let's go. Let's have a drink. But food, on the other hand, takes over my life. Like it's bad. It will take over my life. So when I could control it and I could control my portion and I can control what it is, because to me, that's vizia. That I want, if I start thinking about McDonald's now, when I'm driving home tonight,
You're going to go and get McDonald's.
I could go and get 3 Big Macs and smash them, no problem.
Yeah.
And I'm proud when I don't do that. And I get home and I fucking have a bowl of cereal. I want to whip it against the window, but I still, it makes me feel better the next day to say, hey, I was able to control myself. Because in the end, I think that's what everyone in life has certain things that are hard. And when you can control the bad things, reading a book, you don't have to control it. Read as much as you want.
Yeah.
But eating shit is not good. Being out of shape is not good.
I think it's a balance.
Of course,
I think that being a best version of you means for me as well, is to balance yourself. And I think the balance is work, home, food, exercise. I think you are the person that needs to be balanced. And it's not everything else around you. If you balance yourself, then everything else will fall into place. And I think being the best version of myself is just, it's more of a focus on me this time around and not having to worry about anything.
Yeah, but that's so hard.
It is.
Because
and it really, it's a long process.
But when does that get selfish? Because that's something that, like, I get it. I'm like, I need to be happy. If I'm happy, everyone around me will be happier.
Of course.
I'm not saying they'll be happy, but they'll want me to be around. If I'm miserable, no one wants to be around someone else who's miserable.
But you're the only person who controls you.
But where is I get it. But where is the line? I need to make myself happy. Well, for me to be happy, I need to be on 4 vacations a year.
But you have to be realistic.
But so where's the line, right? Because people will use that negatively and say, well, I need to eat McDonald's all the time to be happy. And then, where does it become selfish? Like, where do you say?
If you're a person with morals and integrity, you will know. I think. Yeah. If you're a person of integrity, it's easy to balance yourself. You will not go above the line and insult or be hypocritical to somebody if you know that it's an inner drive, it's an innate feeling. Now, people who have the moral and the value and the integrity will understand that. But if you're asking, how do I know where it's selfish? Well, if you're a person of integrity, you aren't selfish.
Well, but that's the hard part. Like, I love music.
Yeah.
I love to play. I can play 5 nights, 6 nights a week.
Yeah.
And
But
I
it's
used to.
balanced.
And well, it's not bad because it's not work. I love it. Like I feel alive and I'm but then when does it get selfish that, hey, I gotta, I have a family. So I don't want my kids to say I never saw him because he was always on stage. So you have to find that balance. So where is that line? It's hard to get that line. It's hard to fix it because, nothing is worse than that feeling of saying no to something you really want to do and then being miserable at home. That doesn't help either.
Of course.
So you got to figure out what makes you happy, that balance, to not be selfish both ways. It's all,
Well, I understand, but I would say as a musician, even as an actor or any profession, something that demands time of you. If you know that you're not able to be at a certain place at a certain time, those dates that you don't have allocated to doing whatever it is that you do, that's the date. Those are the times that you sort of balance out to where you're missing out on, right? Because you can't, let's say if you're a musician 24/7, okay, I understand. But if you're doing it 2-3 times a week, you have the rest of that other time to say, okay, hey, you know what? I've done my thing. I can balance it out this amount of time, could do this, we can go here or whatnot. And it's all about being practical. And it's not about being selfish. And I don't think it's part of being selfish because it's what you did. It's what you were raised to do. It's what you were taught to do. You went to school and educate. But I'm talking about people in general. Acting is the same thing. You're on sets for like months at a time, hours at a time, right? But this is what you knew within yourself. That's what you wanted to do. So the choices that you make are contingent on people understanding that you do what you do, right? You're not going to stop right away because you're going to make other people happy. Because if you're miserable, it's not going to balance out. And then you're going to end up in a situation where you are miserable.
Yeah,
and then it's just going to get heavier and heavier, and then you lose your smile.
You need to find that balance.
Exactly.
I think it's all about balance.
There's a reason why you continued your course of life on this path, because you enjoy it. It could be anything. It could be arts. It could be business. It could be whatever, trading, stock exchange. It could be anything.
Boring.
I know. I would never do that. Personally, I would never do that math. But I mean, you know, you make a life choice because that is something that you have an ambition towards. So if you have to sacrifice that ambition to the benefit of others or somebody in particular or a situation in particular or a job in particular, it's a detriment to you because you're chiseling away something that makes you happy genuinely. And then eventually you chisel, and then as much as you want to continue, so much has been chiseled away that you lose it. You lose the voglia, you know, the want, because it's like you feel lost, right?
So
and I think it's more that. So to be more you, to fulfill yourself into that sense, and to be comfortable where you're at a certain point in your life, you have to say, well, I know, you have to be honest with yourself. I like this. This is what I like to do. I like to do art. This is what I want to do. So I'm going to dedicate 8 hours or 12 hours to art, but I understand it's not a 7-day-a-week job. So the 2 days out of the 7 days, I'm going to be where I want to be elsewhere. And then the rest of the time, I'm going to invest because this is my bread and butter. This is what I like. And if you sacrifice your bread and butter, I believe you're sacrificing part of yourself. And I think it's exactly that. You're chiseling away.
So what would be your Lisa's I don't want to say perfect life, but what would be
teleporting to every spot in the world?
If you had to mark down what your best life would be, so how would the day to the week to the month to the year look like?
I can't say.
No?
Because I'm in the moment. I can't say.
Well, but how do you? I know, but
my one big thing.
So then, where's the planning? There's fuck off.
I just said I don't plan. I take it day by day.
Yeah, but you said you need to work out a couple of days a week to feel good.
Yes, but the couple of days a week could be Monday, Wednesday. It could be Friday, Thursday. I don't know how my week is going to turn out.
But okay, right? If you had to look back and say what would make you feel if you look back on your life, you say, I want, like, okay, I'll give you an example.
I mean, I'm only 35, so it's not a lot to look back on. But
I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say perfect day, but my perfect life, the things that I want in there are, you know, eating right. And I'm going to say, like, in a day, you know, daily, I want to be healthy and active. Those are two things that are important because I like to be healthy and active.
Yeah.
I need to have music in there, some sort of playing.
Very good.
So then if I go on the week, you know, to make it my perfect life, I'd like to, you know, play, let's say, twice a week on a big stage and then twice a week at home practicing or recording or something. And I'd like to eat healthy, but not every single day because then I'm not happy. I'd like to have that one day splurge.
Yeah.
I'd like to be active, not by going to the gym because I'm not a big fan, but I just like to be active by walking, hiking. Hiking. I talk like I've fucking never hiked. I've never hiked
I
in my
mountain
life.
climb like 3 times a year.
Well, I mean, I my job keeps me physical, but if I wasn't doing that, then my walks would be super long, and I would actually probably jog a little bit and do a lot of swimming. That would be how I would stay active. Maybe biking, you know, that kind of. So that's part of it. There's definitely, you know, 1 month out of the year where I'd like to not be here for winter. That would be ideally.
Yeah.
But that's like I don't want to say a dream, but that's not living my best life. That's just being away for the fucking winter.
That's it. Because that's it.
And I want to, a lot of it has to be, I like being around family. Like
Yeah.
I like laughing and joking and
Of course.
chilling with loved ones. Like I love that. I could do that all the time. So yeah, those are things that are important to me. Like what would be the perfect day, life, week, month, or year, for me, at least a month of vacation would be ideal. But that means I worked so hard that I have enough funds to.
Yeah,
So that's part
exactly.
of my, which makes me proud because I worked hard enough to get
Of
to
course,
my goal.
of
Like
course.
obviously I have goals. So what would be yours? You were ready for this, huh?
No, it's because there's a lot.
Well, that's why take a day at a time and then make it.
I think, I think health is a very big thing for me as well, especially considering, what's on both sides of my family. So I think, being able to be mobile is definitely something that is very important. I think taking up or retaking up what I used to do a lot of, and that was painting, drawing, and playing tennis. I used to play tennis a lot. And I think if that would be on my, maybe twice a week, max 3, I would probably be doing something like that, taking up my sport, returning to my sport. I think it would be cooking and baking. I would dedicate time.
Hey, you could do that anytime you want.
I know, but I think it would be more beneficial because I would be able to have the time. If you know what I mean, I would be able to dedicate time because it's always go, 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 go. But to set myself down and really dedicate and say, I want to try this dish, I want to do this, I want to bake this. Bucket lists, traveling. That would be something I definitely want to do. Places that, I don't know, just it would take you somewhere where you never would have dreamed of ever going. Like I came from Switzerland this summer, something that I would never have gone and done before. To be around anything positive, be it friends, be it family.
So how do you motivate yourself? How do you motivate yourself daily to be the best version of you?
How do I motivate myself?
Well, yeah. How do you keep yourself sane, happy? Because you have to be happy. That's what makes people want to be around you. You're happy. Like,
Yeah.
And it's hard. We all live a tough
very
life.
hard.
It's hard.
I see. My thing is that I stay in a positive mindset, and the thing is, I don't like.
But how do you motivate yourself to stay in a positive mindset?
Because I came from situations that were very, very difficult in my life. So I always go back to that saying, I don't ever want to be there. I don't ever want to relive it or ever be there or ever experience that again. So that's how I motivate myself. I don't want to go there. And I block it because being in a positive is being in a healthy state. And that's what I like. Because the positivity that, or the light or the thunder that you have, it is contagious. And you attract the like person who has that same energy. And that's what makes you happy. And with the happiness, health goes with the health, right? You eat right, you feel better. And it's an overall sense of well-being. So nobody wants to be in a rut. Nobody wants to cry or be stressed. And if you are in that situation, you don't want to belabor it. You want to go through your moment, vent, and then you say, you know what? Get up, stop being a victim, just get up and live the life that you know that you can live. Because when you stick yourself in that specific mindset, you're going to drag others down. And then you're going to have others compelled to say, are you okay? I pick you up? And then it's like a domino effect. And you don't want that. So how I motivate myself is I don't want to be there. And I know I don't want to be there. And that's when I wake up every day saying, okay, today it could start off. I mean, everybody has a hard day. You could stub your toe for Christ's sake, But in the end, you can say, well, it's fine. The moment happened. I'm upset. I vented. I cried, whatever it is. Pick up, go, right? My house is a disaster.
You cried
Shit.
because you stubbed your toe?
Well, it depends on where you stub it. Just saying. But
There's more different spots on your toe that.
No, where you stub it? Table,
Oh, okay,
concrete,
okay.
something falls on it. You know what I mean?
I
You
broke my
break
toe.
it.
It sucks.
Thank
yeah.
you.
Oh fuck, that sucks.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm talking about. So that's it. Like it's just don't dwell, and it's easier said than done. And I know it's easier said than done. It takes a lot.
How do you alleviate stress? Like, what do you do?
I have a good idea. I wouldn't say it.
Wow, what you said? Holy shit!
I meant watch Disney movies. I like
Disney
Disney. I like
or Double D's.
I like Disney.
Double D's Dick Shop.
I like Disney Plus. Disney Plus.
Sorry, I went there. Yes, I went
Yes,
there.
you went
yes,
there.
I went
'Cause
there.
it's his Let's Talk It
Just-
Out.
But did you notice how big these fucking headphones are? Look at.
I didn't want to say anything.
I feel like.
I didn't want to say
What
anything.
the hell is that?
I don't
Anyway.
know. Those are your headphones.
I need
That's all
that.
I gotta say.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. How's the satellite reception on Mars?
Yeah, I know, for real.
That's it.
So
Aliens?
like how do you not like you know, seriously, because it's hard. We want to accomplish so much in a day, and there's so many factors that come into play: the weather, you know, like
I
just
don't know
just today I
why
was
it's
having
so
I was having
funny.
dinner tonight,
Yeah.
and I work outside, and we were looking at. I think my wife was saying the forecast. She was saying, "Fuck."
Yeah.
Oh my God, we're hitting a polar vortex. And already I went like, oh my God, like a depressive state. Like, oh, those 3 days, Monday,
gonna be
Tuesday,
freaking
Wednesday,
cold.
apparently is going to be minus 20 to minus a high of minus 20.
Yeah.
And I know, like, I have to try now in the next couple of days till I get there. I have to try and not. It's hard not to be negative though. When you're there and you're freezing your balls off,
Yeah.
it's hard not to be negative.
Of
Like
course.
you're trying and you try everything to forget about it, but it's difficult.
Yeah. But
So you have to find a way. And how do you do that? Like, I know I don't know how I do it. I guess I've done it so often that now I know I'm going to get through it. So I try not to think about it. How
But
do
the thing
you
is,
not
but
put
the-
yourself in that state?
because if I know it's coming, you prepare.
How do you prepare?
You go to the dollar store, you get heated inserts, heated pads.
Okay. I'm just going to give you a little
Lesson?
lesson. I work outside as a mailman. So yes, I know every trick in the book. The heated this, the heated that, the heated that. When you've been outside for more than like an hour straight, and I do about 5 hours outside, when you're at a certain point, your core, I don't know how to explain it, but your core gets cold.
Yeah.
And you could stick me in a fucking radiator, in a fire pit. I will not feel hot.
Of course.
I've gotten home sometimes back. It hasn't been that cold the past couple of years, but I remember nights where I would get home and be so cold that
You're
no matter,
shivering.
I could have 8 blankets and the heater up my ass, and I will still shiver and feel cold.
Of course.
So there's something like, yeah, I prepare. I have gloves and I have double layers and triple layers and I have the hot paws that we put
Yeah.
and the electrical this and that. There's always a patch of skin somewhere that is exposed
Yeah.
and that will fucking freeze.
Yeah.
And so I can prepare all I want. When it's too cold, it's cold. And when you're outside, it's cold. Like when I work in the rain, you know, you can wear a rain jacket, but most rain jackets, like if you're there for 20 minutes and you're walking to the store,
Yeah.
the rain jacket's perfect. Or an umbrella, you know.
Yeah.
But once you're outside for 2 hours and it's pouring rain, it soaks right through. Like there's nothing. You can't beat it. You know, you're not gonna put a fucking temple on you and walk around. You know what I mean?
That'll be cool.
So knowing that, sometimes it's like, oh my God, I'm gonna be mad those days.
Yeah.
So I have to try. So I figure I go to McDonald's the day before and I'm gonna have McDonald's after. And that's the
Give
way.
yourself a treat.
Look, you gotta. It's hard. It's hard. My point is that it's fucking hard sometimes, but we need to find a way to do it because in the end, like you said, if you're happy, everyone around you is happy.
course,
And that's
of
what's
course.
important.
Yeah.
So when you're done life, okay, what do you like? No, I'm not.
I mean,
being-
did.
no, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, what do you want? How would you want
Legacy.
people's outlook? What's the most important of how people saw you in this life? That's a hard
just-
one, eh?
Just. Trustworthy. Fair. Genuine. And caring.
Okay,
Yep.
that's it.
I think with each word encompasses its own thing.
Up to now, do you feel like you've accomplished that?
I think I still have to work on a lot of stuff. Not to say that I'm a detriment. No, I don't.
You, how dare you?
Look at the fact.
You're never genuine. No.
But I think, in life, everything that you do is always a work in progress. And I don't think anybody is perfect. I don't think anybody who says that they've nailed it is full of shit. Sorry. Because nobody has reached any type of perfection in any walk and category or level in their life.
The minute you think that, you're a dick.
Yeah, you're
So,
arrogant.
yeah.
And I don't do well with arrogance because not one person is better than the other. And, you're comparing. And you're not me, and I'm not you. And you don't know what I live, and I don't know what you live. So there's no reason to judge or compare. And it's not right to do so, I think. But that's just me. I'm probably one in like a billion. But, it's a work in progress. And I think the best example of my progress is through my child because she sees me. I'm a role model. So if I see the behaviors going in a certain direction, in a positive direction, in the right direction, I know I did something right. So I know it's a reflection.
So you feel, and this is just like kind of off top, you feel that like parenting is the one thing that makes a child, I don't want to say tick, but what is the outcome of the child, or would genetics, DNA have a? Because I'm a firm believer of
yes, genetics,
mix of
DNA,
both.
but I think the genetics or the DNA of a person, the personality is ingrained in the person.
You think so?
Yes.
Like I feel that
Yep.
anxiety is a major issue in today's day and age.
It is a very major issue, but it's what attention and importance you draw on the anxiety. And I'm going to give you an example. My daughter had a tick, okay, and
like 900 million.
yeah,
people
but
have,
hang on. So she had a tick when she would work on a film because she's in film and she edits. She always used to do with her face.
Yeah.
Now, there were the ways to approach this. You either draw an attention to the behavior or you ignore the behavior. If you draw an attention to the behavior, you're going to allow the person to become aware of it, and it's going to continue.
Yeah.
Okay? I can
name you a million adults that do that.
Of course. I'm just saying this as example.
No,
because my
it's a
daughter
regular
did it.
thing. Yeah.
I chose to ignore it, not because I don't care, but because I didn't draw attention to it. Although I did observe it to see how often it was happening, I did monitor it at a distance, and it eventually died off. So it's just a small example, really, but I find that as a parent, DNA and genetics play a huge role because it can dictate the behavior and the personality, and that can manifest based on environment, based on people, socialization. It can manifest different ways. It can, develop.
Well, for sure, but like parenting, we teach our kids to be, hey, be respectful. Don't you dare say that.
Exactly. But
don't
that's in your
this,
home.
don't that.
Yeah.
But also, we try to teach them the best we can, and we try to, you try to show them with how you live.
Of course.
That's part of it. But a lot of children and young adults, they don't know how to deal with anxiety. So sometimes I try, like I might be different because maybe I've mastered how to deal with anxiety. I don't know. But some people, when they get way too anxious, they come across as, could be rude, or they could react to a situation not what they would want to, not the way they want to, but they just did because that anxiety took over, that nervousness took over, and and it happens. So now it will happen in life, and we try to teach our kids, but at the age of 20, 21, they haven't lived enough to learn how to deal with all these situations because they haven't been in all these situations.
But I mean, if, like I said, you're a role model to your kids. So if it comes through you and it shines through you, and they see you.
But didn't you fuck up as a kid, as a 20-year-old, 21-year-old?
Of course.
Right? We all did.
I know, but it's part of learning and it's part of growing up. And if you're not able or capable of understanding, shit, I fucked up. I got to correct this. Right? If you're not capable, and I understand being 20, especially nowadays, it's everybody's always right. Okay, you don't need to fix or mend your ways, and we can say this now because we're older. But
no, I'm always right.
Yeah, I know, I heard. Yeah, I heard. But I mean, realistically speaking, you know, we're all at an age where, you know, we've all done things, we've all gone through things and whatnot. But I mean, you as a parent, you know because you learned. So if you're a role model to your child and you're showing your child that you're anxious or you're not able to handle this or you're a mess or this and that, it will be reflecting on them as well. They learn, right? They learn. It's you're molding somebody else and you're preparing them for the stage that you've already gone through. So because we know what we went through, yes, it's unavoidable that they're going to be anxious. And don't forget, we're not around them 24/7 anymore as they get older. They're socialized. They have friends who could be, you know, have anxiety, but they might not necessarily know how to deal with it, right? You can tell your child how to deal with it, but in the end...
Yeah, but does that, like, to tell your child how to deal with it, you can teach them how you can tell them how it's supposed to be dealt with.
Exactly.
But it doesn't mean they're going to deal with it that way.
Exactly.
Right? My 17-year-old, when was it last, I don't know, a little while ago, he was really upset, like super upset. He feels he's Canadian. So Trump came in and this whole, we're taking over Canada.
Yeah, I can
right?
imagine. I can imagine.
So he's like, he really got upset. And he put a post on Instagram, and it wasn't that bad. It was
my daughter does the same type of thing.
It was actually a good post, in the sense that he just kind of wrote, "Hey, if you think that like whoever is for being another state, go fuck yourself." Like he kind of put it that way, you know, because he's patriotic and he loves his country. And then I had a talk with him, and I said, you got to be careful, like who you. He's like, I don't really care right now. He's like, Kids my age are really dumb. And I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, at least it's not like a bad thing. Like he's just being patriotic, but you got to find a way to just have that conversation. I said, and I tried to tell him like, no, you could feel that way. And instead of saying, go fuck yourself, you can literally say, hey, Canada's such a great country. We're able to do this, and that. Promote your country.
Yeah.
Don't shit on others who do, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Find another way to do the same thing, but nicely and not come across as but he's at that age where he hasn't learned enough to understand why there are people that say it, hey, and I'm like, dude, some kids, especially your age, don't even care. It's a joke. It's the reaction. They say it to get a reaction and it's a joke and blah, blah, blah. They don't even know what it means. So they're just saying it, talking out of their ass. For you, it's super important to you. And you feel like slighted. You feel slighted that, hey, another country's going to come and take us over. Why? Just because you feel like, an adult talking about a country. Like he's slighted. But I'm like, it's not that deep. Like, don't make it that deep. It's not. And I said, and this is the first time you hear an adult or a president talking like this. I've heard it 1 trillion times. I'm so used to it. It runs off my back. It's like, whatever. Yeah, I heard it before. This guy said that. That guy said that. That guy said Frenchmen are no good. That guy said Englishmen. Like
everybody has something to say.
Right. We've all lived it. And it's like, whatever. And sometimes they say it. And, but even though we teach them, it doesn't mean they learn that way because we teach them. We kind of tell them what we believe. And then eventually they have to mature enough to learn it and live it and learn it, I think,
Well, like I said, everybody has a different personality.
Like my point is that I can't judge. I wouldn't judge. I wouldn't say I failed because he said that, because that's not what I would do.
No, at all. He's an individual. He is different from you. And that's why we are individuals, because we each have our individual traits. That's what make us unique. They can take through genes, but how the genes manifest themselves, that you have an individual, a unique individual, and how they express themselves is their way. Now, it could be the right way, it could be the wrong way. My daughter does the same thing. She puts up Instagram posts, and I tell her, I understand that you feel the need to express yourself. There's a specific place and a specific time.
Yeah, it's called Instagram.
No, but I'm saying these are people that you don't know. These are people who might not be aware of what they're going through in any given moment. So you cannot judge, and you cannot tell somebody they're stupid because they might have a belief. You have a belief, they have a belief. Let them have their beliefs and let them talk.
Yeah.
So you're showing them that there's two sides of the coin, and your way is not necessarily the right way.
I know 3/4 of the fights that I have with both my kids is because they think I'm on the other side. they always think, "Oh, you're always against. You're against." And I'm like, "No,
I've been there.
I'm just showing you the other side of it.
Yep.
Like I'm just showing you the perspective of the other person.
Yeah.
Not that you're wrong or right, but there's another perspective. And if you understand that perspective, your reaction could be a little different, or you can avoid certain things and just say, hey, maybe it's give a little, take a little. The teacher's not always the worst person in the room. Let's say in class, it's not always the teacher's fault. Like.
I know. I'd say that to my daughter all the time.
Like, how would you, if there's 5 screaming kids and a teacher overreacts, that's because you drove them crazy, like whatever. I mean, there's perspective, and it's not because I'm on someone else's side. It's just there's perspective, and you need to. And to me, that's part of my life goals. Like living my best life is always changing the perspective to make things normal. Sometimes I feel like the worst thing in the world is happening. And I try to snap myself by saying, okay, wait a minute. I could be that type of person. Or I could be in a home. Or I could be handy. Like I try to change my perspective and say, okay, is that the worst? My audio didn't work that day. I want to break everything and I'm so frustrated. And then if there's a solution, okay, so why am I frustrated? I found the solution. I could have been a lot worse. I could have not had a solution. I try to look at the perspective. For me, if I can live every day that way, changing my perspective to not suit my needs, but to keep me in check, to be the best version that I can be.
I think, and to your point, I think the best way for me to approach life is not everybody's out to get you, and not everybody's out to compete. Be who you are. And if somebody feels the need to prove themselves better, let them. In the end, they're honoring themselves.
Yeah. And they're probably missing something in their life. And that's right. They're probably missing something that makes them want to feel better. And sometimes shitting on other people makes you feel better. I'm not saying it's right, but because they're not happy. So, if we can try to make them happy somehow and realize, realize another perspective, well, they might in turn, be happier and not be that way towards you or something. Exactly. Wow, this is getting fucking deep, man.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to talk about that anymore.
No. I mean,
I'm a positive person. I don't like to be.
No, nothing's negative. It's
no, I know.
It's we like to. Let's put it a podcast. Let's say it's a podcast to put in perspective. That the grass is not always greener on the other side. There's always 2 sides to every story. Sometimes 3. Most of the times 3.
Yeah, most of the time there's 3.
And it's live your best life. Be happy with you. Do what makes you feel happy. If you want to lie or cheat or steal or whatever, change the perspective. What if it could be someone's favorite thing, and what if think of your favorite thing that you own? If someone stole it, how would you feel? You would not like it. So it's about perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
When someone cuts you off, think about the time you made a mistake and cut someone off without realize. You didn't realize someone cut you off. And you didn't realize, so you cut someone off, you didn't realize, so that's what happened.
Yep.
And it wasn't done purposely, and think about it in that perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
So on that note, let's bring this schism to a finish.
An end.
Let's bring it to an end.
So thanks so much, everybody, and tune in for our next podcast whenever it airs. It will air eventually. So guys, take care. Have a good night.
That was deep, by the way. Let's
it was too deep.
Keep
That's
it.
right.
That was
I
a
think
bit
we
deep.
need to drink.
Live your best life. Live your best life and talk about it and enjoy life. And we'll take it from there next time.
Bye,
Ciao.
guys.